Council, may our tall tales please you. When last we left our heroes, the ship La Floridita gliding over the relatively shallow waters of the Rhest Sea, and before they see a grim sight emerging beneath the waves, it has been a couple of weeks, so I'm going to throw to Captain Ice Leasing. Can you give us a bit of a recap of what happened last session or the last couple of sessions? Where are we at the moment?
So we sailing back to town, and spotted a little ship on a little island, and some reason let captain decide what they should do. So barreled down upon that ship, killed all the hobgoblins that were on it, went looting through the water, found a bunch of gold, message about mercenary work, and then as we were pulling back into town, came across some sea elves who were convincing to let us follow them, see where they're going. Learnt some information about a bronze dragon off in the distance, a potential blockade as well, blocking our way.
Absolutely. You came across red-handed Navy, as you mentioned, who were in the process of stealing or intercepting, I guess, gold and gems in chests that were heading to a mercenary guild to buy mercenary protection for a city. The egg that Paulie was in has hatched. We have a baby Paulie.
Baby
and
Paulie.
You met these sea elves, and as you mentioned, they're kind of leading you to the city, the city of Seastar, and you had a bit of an in with them, as these guys seem to be smugglers of a sort. They general fishermen and traders, but you had a bit of an understanding with them. You kind of recognized some of the signs. Karu, they gave you a lot of reverence as well, believing you to be sent here from the Church of the Divine Kingdom. But yeah, they're leading you along, and not in a bad way. They're just leading you to where the city of Seastar, and let us take you to the map. Was there any kind of conversations, or actually, the thing I forgot, pirate fact. Start of the show, we did a pirate fact from each of you. Paulie, you're the youngest. Do we get a pirate fact of young Paulie, or do we get a pirate fact from Paulie's previous lives that we don't necessarily know?
Fun fact, irrelevant of age, Paulie does like to shit on people.
Yeah. So despite the fact that he's doing it now as a baby, and it's endearing, he will never grow out of this, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Excellent. Yama?
It isn't a kink, by the way, okay? It isn't. He just doesn't.
Yeah.
Yama's pirate fact is the fact that he cannot swim. He plays it off as his armor is too heavy and he sinks to the bottom, but actually he can't swim.
Yep. Karu.
Karu's pirate fact is he once made friends with a shark, and he gave the shark like a little pink bow and like attached the little bow to its fin, and every time he goes into the ocean, the reason why he likes to jump in the ocean to swim is not because he is fish, it's also because he likes to keep an eye out for that little shark. I'm hoping one day their paths cross again.
Love that. It's so cute. Captain Ice Leeson, what is your pirate fact about the captain?
So despite being called captain, has never actually captained a ship nor ever owned his own ship.
Stolen valor.
Yeah, may never have risen above cabin boy in his life. Not that he'll let anyone ever know that.
We let you make decisions last.
Yeah.
It's all about the bravado and the confidence.
we were
Make it, baby.
My pirate fact is not about me. It's about the that thing that you used to play in front of DVDs, like you wouldn't steal a car, you wouldn't steal music, piracy is a crime. The music they used in that video was actually stolen. And a guy only discovered it when he watched Harry Potter on DVD, and he was like, "Holy fuck, that's my music!" And it's stolen, and he had to report them. So that's my piracy fact for this week.
I like it.
That's a great fact.
It's a piracy fact. Ooh, smart. Nice.
Yeah. Sweet tie-in.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Josh. Just calling me Captain Daddy. I'm assuming he's talking to me, Aaron, not you. So
Maybe.
Or
excellent.
the actual daddy in the room.
Oh,
Tell me.
yeah,
Actually,
the actual dad. So the ship is being kind of led along. You end up taking a more sort of direct route towards Seastar, thanks to the assistance of these elves, kind of helping you along. It is still sort of like a day's journey, and it is mostly smooth sailing. Oh, it's rolling dice as you guys travel along, revealing parts of the map.
That's cool.
Yeah, smooth sailing. You don't spot anything particularly interesting. But what time is it? So it's sort of going to sort of late evening, sort of 9 o'clock at night on the 12th of Chess. And the vessel, as I mentioned, is kind of gliding over the relatively shallow waters of the sea. And who's on lookout? Who's in what positions on the ship?
I think Yama being fairly useless on the boat might just be near the guns.
Mhm.
Oh, his perception is not bad. Maybe he's looking, but only from the bow of the ship, not up in the nest.
Yeah, no heights for Yama.
I get the feeling that Karu is watching what baby Paul is doing because
yeah, baby Paulie is showing off to Karu. It's like, look what I can do, look what I can do, and he's like just dropping off the sail without actually like letting his wings open, and then
Yeah.
trying to like not face plant, so like get like a little bit of air before he like hits the ground.
yeah, and there's always like a tentacle really close to you just in case you do actually face plant. But I reckon every now and again there's one attempt where you don't succeed and the tentacle like grabs your paw, but then like drops you anyway. So like it like grabs you about a foot from the floor and then just lets you fall. And like, yeah, that's great, mate. Yeah, good job. Yeah, do it again. Yeah, come on, do it again.
Just goes up again, like starts like climbing the ropes up again.
Yeah,
Yep.
I like to think in aid of this, Aveline and Diana in particular, on the top deck of a ship, like near ropes and stuff, like seemingly doing a job, but then because you're jumping off the mast, if you look like you're not going to make it, you'll see them like pull a rope and it just happens to like almost like scoop the sail under you a little bit to kind of give you a bit of a slide and sort of slow your descent before you maybe land in a pile of sailcloth or something like that just happens to have been left, at the bottom of on the top deck of the ship, being repaired. Totally not put there on purpose, like to stop you breaking your face open on the deck of the ship. Excellent. And Captain, not being trusted with any decisions, or maybe being trusted with too many decisions. Where is he on the ship? Is he? What's his kind of main position?
Trying to be as far away from Paulie as possible. Probably right up in the crow's nest, tending that he's on lookout, having a bit of a nap.
No one's watching. I love that. No
Hey,
one's
Yama said he's watching, but
You're from the
he's
back.
only responsible.
Yeah, everyone
I said
assumes
from
he's
the
watching.
front.
So I guess Yama, being the only person who is kind of on watch for external threats, as you mentioned, can you give me a perception check, please?
Percepciones. Oh my god, slow. Oh, there we go. Ugh. 17.
So you definitely catch that the the elves have been kind of going with you. You've had to go in kind of single file because this area is kind of heavily reefed. There's sort of reef ridges. Some of them no more than kind of 20 feet across, but they jut out from the surrounding seafloor, and they're kind of leading you through one of what may be many paths of safety through this reef. One in particular, though, that you notice, two withered coral spires clinging to the rock like kind of dead trees, and sprawled across the broken coral is the bloated, half-dissolved carcass of a giant seahorse.
Cool.
With a 17, you notice that this thing has. It looks like this is either been left there, and maybe on some kind of low tide has been gotten stranded and picked at. But it's sort of like half of it, but it is also partially dissolved, like not just chomped at, not just being picked at by birds. Something seems to have almost like burnt it or melted part of it.
Ew. Yama definitely pointed out to the crew. Can I make like a medicine check from here?
Sure. Yeah.
I think at this point we definitely don't want to go any closer. Like he goes, "Hey guys, there's this super gross thing over there."
In fact, I'd even let you make a tea brewing check in this instance.
Oh, cool. Tea brewing.
Tasty. I love this song, by the way.
That's a dirty 20.
Yeah. So as you get a bit of a closer look and the ship's, cuts its sails a little bit to kind of slow down. Well, I guess you guys are probably going pretty slow through these reefs anyway. You can see that the silvery scales on this giant seahorse have been eaten away by acid burns. And there is a foul dark green ichor still clinging to the bones and fins, and it's sizzling softly as it taints the water.
Ew. As he pointed it out to maybe the rest of the crew, and he's like, "Car, focus." Do you know anything from the sea that leaves marks like that? See the acid? See the goo?
DM, do I know anything from the sea that does that? Is there a roll I can make?
What do you have at your disposal?
Karu has his own ichor.
I do.
Well, yeah, actually, you are very knowledgeable in ichor. That's sort of your wheelhouse, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would just argue that I would probably just squint my eyes and investigate. To be honest, just be like, yes, ichor, totally. It's definitely ichor.
17 investigation. Yeah, your ichor is not acidic, right? It's but I don't know what purpose it has. In fact, is yours more of like a defense mechanism, like a squid ink thing, or is it like venomous or poisonous? Is it does it taste bad to get you away from predators? What's the genesis of the? Yeah.
I think Kara's look, icky things that I know about usually underwater. It's a matter of defense. It's a matter of creating a cloud to get away. If there's ever anything that's venomous or poisonous, it's wait, no, which one's the other way? Which is the right one? Venomous. It's usually within the creatures, and it's something that they either inject or they spit out. This is kind of weird. I'm this looks almost like the kind of magic that Killian does, if that makes sense. It's
if you bite it, it's
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're on the right track of thinking, Caro, in kind of many ways that may find themselves apparent. This is definitely some kind of acidic ichor, which would be strange even for a predator, because you're burning away the thing that you're going to consume.
Yeah.
So
This
whatever
doesn't-
attacked this creature was maybe not so much interested in consumption, but purely killing.
Yeah, which like from what I know of like giant seahorses, it's like they're not exactly creatures. I know giant seahorses aren't actually real, but I think Kara is just like, I know about giant seahorses. Like they're not unfriendly, hostile creatures. Like they tend to be pretty chill. So I'm not really sure why this one has been just like attacked and not even attacked to be eaten. It's kind of just been killed for the sake of it, almost.
And as you look even a little bit closer, there's a band around like one of its fins, sort of like a coral band or a sort of jade and coral band strapped around one of its fins, and you just make out in Sea Elven the name Leokio.
Pinocchio, does that? Do I know what that is?
It's
Happy to roll something.
no, yeah, I don't think you need to. I think you would probably understand this. Like this brand is the equivalent of you spotting a name tag on a dog. Like this was
Aw.
someone's pet or mount.
This was someone's pet or mount, and it got killed. What the fuck? I wonder where the owner is. I wonder if the owner's nearby.
Almost as if to answer that, a low hiss gurgles throughout the mist of the evening sea, and the water begins parting. You can hear sort of the breaching through the water. Something sleek, scaled, and wickedly fast breaches the surface. Its body a sinewy mass of claws, teeth, and jagged dorsal ridges. And it looks like, did I put it in here? I hope I put it in here.
People gotta know.
People gotta know.
Is it sexy? Is it scary? You gotta know. Is it
Can we
black?
recruit it, or does
Yeah.
it look like something Killian dug up?
Can
Is
we
it-
cook it? No.
Is it friend shaped?
Everything is friend shaped.
Sorry, let me.
When you said wickedly fast before, my brain immediately thought of John Travolta introducing Adina Denzel or whatever is like the wickedly talented Adele Dazeem. So, brain
Sounds
roll.
about right.
Is it?
Is it friend? Is it fish?
Drum roll.
So here is a picture just to set the tone.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
A beautiful seahorse. I'm having unicorn flashbacks.
I don't think that guy can be fucked.
Good to know your priorities.
No, this is Karu. Like, it's always Karu's head. Like, okay, not that one.
That's going too far.
In fact,
Like,
there are multiple bursting forth.
Shit.
oh god.
This one's very blurry, but here's like another look at it.
I could definitely take one of them, no problem.
Take
Yeah, level 2, 100%.
Polly, get back here.
And I would like you all to roll initiative, please.
You should have put my like little baby collar thing on.
I was gonna say Karu is like got a baby harness and he's trying to get Polly into
One
the
of
harness.
those monkey backpacks.
Yeah. But it's like it can be at the front, so like Paulie, you can still stab stuff, but you gotta stay with me.
17.
Ah, shit.
Real hot.
No,
well,
no.
Are you faster than me?
No.
Glad my dissonant whispers little animation is still there.
Oh,
will
yeah.
never quit.
It's just the voice in your head.
Did you all have... Did we end up resting? I can't remember. How are you guys looking and or feeling?
I'm at 117 of 118 hit points.
Yeah.
I think we
short rested.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
'Cause
didn't.
I'm not at
You didn't
full
stop
health.
in town because you've gone past Rowan's Ferry now. You didn't stop. Correct, or
Yes.
am I incorrect?
I really don't know.
I
I
don't,
don't
know.
think we stopped in Drell's Ferry. I
definitely-
think we saw the Sea Elves before we actually got there.
That's
That's
true.
correct,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I will
Yeah,
give you the
we definitely
opportunity
did.
now to. We can retcon that, and you did take some time to gather some supplies, and I can advance the clock 8 hours that you spent some time in Drell's Ferry. If you would like to take that long rest before going into this fight, you don't have to. Maybe there'll be time to rest in Seastar.
Why does this feel like a strong hint as to what's ahead? You're like, oh, if you guys want to rest, you might want to rest.
I mean, these.
I'm fine.
You guys are a lot tougher than a giant seahorse. I think you can probably take these guys.
I'm
I mean,
actually
I know I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking through all my abilities. Like I've got a lot of spell slots used, but I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. One of these creatures flies at you. Karu leaping out and coming at you. In fact, seems to kind of fly past you, and it's going to sort of sideswipe. Oh, all of you. Brilliant.
Now remember, I only have 13 health, Dan.
I'm going to need a con saving throw from each of you, please.
Oh no.
15.
15, nice.
Dirty 20 from Karu. Or
I
wants
am
to
that as well.
Everybody's in it.
17.
Yeah, everyone's in it.
$14.
Cool. I'm looking for a DC 14, so it looks like you all succeeded. So if you had failed, you would be taking 46 acid damage. But thankfully, you're succeeded, so you're going to take half. So 23 damage.
23.
That still kills.
I am more than down. I think I'm actually dead now. That's an insta death.
So here's where it's going to get interesting. Obviously, poor little Paulie, little guy, is someone going to piccolo this Gohan and jump in front of this attack. I'm not going to kill Paulie in one hit off of
Yes.
nothing.
I will.
You'll take his
I mean,
damage.
I'm technically like map wise in the way anyway, so
I can mechanically do it if you prefer, Katie.
Hmm.
Like I can literally like siphon and redirect the damage to myself.
I'm not very cheap. I'm going to let Paulie not accidentally. I'm going to let Paulie's own mistakes kill him, not a turn one acid breath. Oh, sorry, we just brought your character back. Now it's gone again, right? I'm not that much of a prick. As much as chat wants it, and chat absolutely wants it. They want you to. Yeah, sorry.
I was gonna say mechanically it'd be better for me to not take that full damage.
Yeah, which is why I offer it.
Yeah. I was just narratively I was like, I'm definitely in front of him. But yeah, if you
So
could
I
mechanically do that.
It goes like you turn to like cover Paulie, and I just like this like radiant light kind of pulls it away, and yeah, Yama takes the double damage.
So yeah, I mean, you kind of reach out. I'm imagining Lemillion, shielding, airy kind of thing, and just taking like the full brunt of that damage. You're going to take the full 46. Paulie, you are unscathed. The rest of you are taking the 23. Karu, he did have to position actually right next to you to fly by, so you're going to get an attack of opportunity here as he screams past you.
I will definitely take that opportunity. It was almost a nat 20. God damn it. I'm assuming he's not undead.
No, this appears to be a sort of draconic creature, which is why your aligning it with Killian's was even more accurate than perhaps you first realized. Not only is his kind of magic, he obviously taps into a lot of draconic magic himself, so perhaps a bit of foreshadowing there.
Okay, well, he takes 14 slashing damage.
Okay. He doesn't love that. That does not bloody the creature. Well, let's actually start the combat. Let's go. Number 2.
Hell yeah.
One flies up to go at you and your sparkly self, Captain Isolation.
Last.
20. 21 to hit.
That hits.
That hits. Alright. That's going to be 6 piercing damage as it kind of bites into you. And why is this wing blades not working? And then as it flies past you, it tries to kind of clip you with its wings. But I believe a 10 won't hit, right?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. That's its full movement, though. It's going to try and fly by on its turn. Clearly, you are in sort of the shielded embrace of Yama Piccolo, who's just taken this beam for you. And you see dragons, medium-sized dragons flying around.
All right. I'm gonna say thanks, Papa Yama. Now where should I do? Should I kill that one or that one or that one?
Get that one by the... Oh, this is awkward. The other captain?
Done. I will attack. I'm gonna like drag like Talon because it's a really big sword, really. Can I roll at disadvantage?
Go.
I feel
How's that?
I feel like that's the way it should
Help
be.
disadvantaged.
15 still? 15 to hit?
15 does still hit. These things aren't particularly armored.
Cool. So Paulie's gonna like really try and bring it up, and then he's gonna trip a little bit, but it ends up finding its attack, and then yeah, it only does 12 damage. I don't have any of my fancy stuff yet. I'm only level 2.
12 damage. Impressive. That actually bloodies the
Yeah.
creature, though.
Amazing. Hell yeah.
Anything else
Oh,
from Baby
yeah.
Paulie?
Yes, I'm gonna look back at Yama really proudly. He's like, "Do you see? I hit it. I hit it."
Hell yeah.
Very good. Karu, one of these creatures is obviously has just blasted you with its acidic breath. It's probably 5 feet above the deck of the ship, obviously well within grasp. The others are just starting to burst out of the water.
Yeah, I would actually like to make a running leap onto this guy.
Mhm.
Actually, like because he's only just up, so I want to Karo just sprints, gets to the edge of the ship, and just pushes himself up to grab onto this thing, and I'm gonna stab it with my blade. Hopefully, 14.
14's enough.
Fuck yeah. 15 slashing damage.
15 slashing damage. That bloodies the creature as you. I'm imagining. Well, go again with your second attack. As Kairu kind of runs along the edge of the ship, the banister, I guess, kind of leaps and just brings the ruin blade down onto the creature. 24 is definitely going to hit.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to think I'm kind of wrestling with it in the air.
Yep.
13 slashing damage.
13, massive. It was barely holding on. It seems like it's about to kind of go down into the waves. You have an opportunity to, I mean, I don't know if you have a third attack here or anything like that. Or, of course, a tentacle out onto a rope to try and make sure you don't go down with it. But its momentum is carrying it down. You'll definitely get an attack of opportunity on its turn if it attempts to move before trying to bite you back.
Yeah, I think I will tentacle reach out as it's starting to like fall down along the side of the ship. I will latch myself onto the ship. I'm still trying to hold onto it, but
Yep.
like if it wrestles itself out of my grasp, then that's fine.
Yeah, perfect. Cool. Anything else?
No, that is pretty much all I can do.
Cool. Another
Alright.
one flying in, and is going to.
Hey, Dan.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep.
I forgot I have the charge attack, which meant I could have added a D8 bonus die.
All right, roll
What's
a
that?
d8. If you get a 2 or more, you get to describe
Okay.
to me how you kill this thing.
Okay, cool. Apologies. I got a 1. That's so funny. I deserve that for forgetting the charge attack. Never mind. Carry on.
Yep, good. Love that. Love that for me, honestly.
I love that for you too.
Just for that, we're going to have this thing attack Yama. 14, I assume, will not hit, though.
Ba-boom.
And another 14 will not hit. Okay. Rouge, Captain, and then Yama, and then the last dragon.
All right. Captain, not particularly impressed with getting bitten and covered in acid, is going to point a finger at the one right in front of him. And I'm going to cast Hold the Dead.
Mhm.
The wisdom saving throw. Please.
Yeah, wisdom saving throw. That's 15.
Damn. Does. Nothing.
Okay.
Just hears everyone just hears a really sad bell gong.
Boom.
I guess for the bonus action, I'm just gonna produce a flame in my hand, readied up for the next turn.
Excellent. Oh, you had lots of people targeted there, and it's just around fire.
Yeah, anyone targeted.
It might have even just like killed Paulie. In
Got
Foundry.
his life back.
How much do what's he got? 8 health. Yeah, I'll give him his 8 health back. Cool. Yama, you've got one of these creatures kind of harassing you. Paulie and Isolation are attacking one of them, and Karu's kind of off the ship attacking yet another one.
I feel like everyone has this well in hand. Polly is right in front of him, and Yama's always been very fatherly, but he's kind of avoided it with Captain Polly because, Karu's been doing a good job and he's fucked up with his own son, so, maybe it's best to step back. But in this moment, he's going to give young Polly some encouragement, and he pats him on the shoulder, and he's like, as he's flying, and he's like, well done, good work. And he's going to cast protection from evil and good on him, which means these creatures will now have disadvantage on attack rolls against you.
Ah, so that's really good. Does that work on anything, or is it specifically?
Sorry, I did assume that these were fiends, but so it's aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead. Can I roll like a knowledge check or something?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'd accept if you're thinking they're fiends, yeah, some kind of knowledge check, either arcane or religion, I would accept, because fiends are kind of religious.
Cool. I will go with religion, though the bonus is the same, and it's a +0, so let's pray for good juju. Oh no, it's a 10.
I will say that you are definitely, like, at most, I will say you're definitely getting a fiendish energy, which is a little strange, because these things mostly look draconic, and you've been dealing with dragons and the Red Hand. But yeah, these appear to have a fiendish energy, though not sort of necessarily outwardly fiendish. Kate might be getting a fiendish vibe because she sees them named as razor fiends. I don't know if you've actually.
Not even look at that, but
But that's very good intuition, which I love. Yes, these are fiends.
cool. Yama is risking it. Kate is metagaming it, and we're going with protection from good and evil on Polly.
Excellent.
And that is an action, so I'll just like move up. So I'm also offering myself as a partner.
Excellent. As you're attacking its brother, Karu, one of them's going to swoop in and try and attack you. That's a dirty 20 to hit for 6 damage.
Yep.
6 piercing damage. And then as it tries to clip you with its wings, that's a 17 to hit.
Yep.
For 12
Yes,
damage. And the one you have in its grasp, it is also going to try and turn. And as you're kind of like wrestling with it in the air, it's beating its big wings. It's gnashing its gnashers at you. And come on, give me a. How do you not want to roll? So rude. 23 to hit.
Yep.
1d8. For 14 piercing damage.
Oh, damn.
And then its wings, 17 to hit. I assume does not hit.
No, it does, because my armor class is back down to 17.
Oh, okay, awesome. I love that. That's going to be 8. 8
I'm
slashing
so happy
damage.
to give you this gift.
Thank you. And you can see, like, as it's biting into you, like acid's kind of like leaking out of its mouth. And you know, its ichor melting with your ichor somewhat. And you can hear the sizzling and crackling and as it tries to bite at you. As you kind of hold on to it. It is going to try and kind of flap away from you. I'm going to give you a chance to have an opportunity attack here if you would like it.
Yes, please.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just describe it for me as
Yeah.
it tries to get away.
I think as it tries to get away, like Karu is kind of wrestling with this other one, but like without even looking, he just like swings the ruined blade and just like cuts both its wings off, and it dies.
You can see it circle down, it crashes into the surf and kind of lolls up. You know, it's sort of being buffeted between the ship and the coral reef of where you guys are sort of navigating through currently. The Razor Fiend that's dealing with the captain is going to try and bite at him for 25 to hit.
Oof.
Oh, that's a crit. We love that. We love crits.
No.
Oh no,
No, we
and that's
don't.
an injury.
That's you can go with the injury stuff. 21 piercing damage as it bites into you.
Yeah.
And it will try and sort of clip its wings on Paulie. I believe that will be with disadvantage. So second attack. So roll a 9 because of the disadvantage.
Well, luckily, my armor class is still 13.
So thanks to Yama's blessing, it goes to kind of slice you with its razor wing. But that kind of what does that protection look like from Yama? Is it actually divine? Is it a stern look from Yama over Paulie's shoulder that like slows the dragon down? Like what does the protection look like in universe?
I feel like I really like the idea of this like glowing Yama just kind of like appearing and going
Yeah. So as this creature tries to slice into this tiny bird, your kind of visage behind, shocks this thing, and it is scared. And in a way that a dragon normally wouldn't be. And this kind of reinforces and confirms to you that these things are fiendish in nature. These aren't regular dragons. Paulie.
All right. Well, I guess I'll keep trying to attack this creature. I reckon I can take it down before the captain can, the way it's going.
Hey, I made it here really sad, Belle.
No, probably not. 10 hit.
No, I'm afraid. I'm looking for one more than that.
Well, I don't have that one more. So Paulie is going to stamp his foot because he's kind of fallen over a bit, trying to like swing the really big, like Talon's 3 times the size of him. So the fact that
Well, it's like a
he's swinging it
jousting
bit-
lance, isn't it? Like
Yep.
to you, yeah.
Yeah, correct. He's going to stamp his foot and go, Yama, can't kill it.
Give
Any
up now.
bonus actions?
Yeah. I'm gonna kick Captain Shins.
Rude as shit.
Love
Yeah.
that.
You say or you might get shat on.
Nah, from
I don't
across,
want to do any damage at all. Just want to kick his shins.
from
I'm-
across,
I'm-
from
I'm in my terrible twos, guys. Okay.
I can love it. And from across the ship, you hear Kara go, "Yeah, you tell him, Paulie." Like when you kick the captain's shins. I'm gonna attack this.
Actually, with Kari saying that, I'm gonna say that to the captain. They spoil me. They like me more than they like you.
Unbelievable.
I'm gonna attack this thing, dude. Oh, that still hits though. Yay!
Yep, 14 hits.
15 slashing damage on the first attack. And on the second attack, still hits. Yay! Love that bonus. 13 slashing damage.
Absolutely. You have bloodied this creature as it is kind of flying about you, trying to, bite at you, hit you with its claws, etc. And you are slicing into it. It does not look well.
I wish I could do something else, but I can't. Yep. Oh, should I? How hurt does this thing look?
You think it definitely couldn't sustain 2 attacks of the nature you just did. Maybe 1, depending on how, yeah.
Okay, I will keep my magic. And
Keep
end
your
my turn.
fine. Keep your secrets.
Yeah. Keep my magic secrets.
All right. Well, speaking of magic secrets, the Razor Fiend is let it all hang out here and is going to bite at Yama. 21 to hit for 8 piercing damage.
Did you just say 41?
No, 21 to hit.
Oh god, I was like, what? Sorry, what was the damage? I was overwhelmed.
8 piercing damage, and these are.
Thank
This
you.
is a creature of magical origin, so it is a
Okay,
magic weapon.
Thank you. You anticipated my next up question.
Its wings, though, trying to batter at you with only a 16, you're easily able to kind of parry them away, despite the bite kind of nicking at you, and you can feel some of the acid kind of like leaking through parts of your armor and just making it quite red hot, quite hot and burny.
Ooh.
you're able to fend off the wings, Captain.
All right. If at first you don't succeed, try again. So Captain's gonna point his finger, the damn razor fiend again, and that sad little bell's gonna ring one more time.
No,
Wow,
you got me.
It keeps targeting your
I did-
allies. That's so strange.
I keep targeting it, but
Well, I
Saving
will
throw
get
for
it
you.
to roll a saving throw. It rolls an 8.
aha, takes 19 damage from that sad little bell sound.
Whoa.
So clearly tries to hit it with his jousting stick, and then kicks you in the shins, and then a bell goes off. What does it look like as this creature? What does this bell do to the creature that causes it to keel over?
Creature itself, just not able to deal with this really sad little bell, claws up at its wherever it's hearing from and just keeps clawing and clawing, and ends up, tearing into its skull trying to stop the sound of this bell, and cuts through its own brain.
Excellent. And it falls onto the deck of the ship, and just kind of lolls there as viscera and gross corpseness. Yama.
And Yama yells, "Good job, Polly, you got it! Let's get the next one!" And Yama is just gonna wink at Captain Isolation on the down low.
Paulie like smiles
Yeah.
like big, like.
And
Gonna
I'm going
wave
to
that hand of fire just menacingly at Paulie's head.
Yeah, I'll give you the finger.
that's
Ari
like
told me
the-
this one.
Yeah, good job, Paulie. You tell him.
Karen, what have you been teaching him again? I told you.
Been teaching him
It's
how to hold
hilarious.
himself.
I go
Damn
through a
it.
litany of swear words as the next thing I do. I won't say all of them, of course. We're a family friendly Twitch channel here, but it's like I go through a litany of swear words. There's like, yeah, and she taught me those ones.
Full
Oh, he taught me those ones.
Full sailors like language, and we're like, oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
god.
Yeah.
I like to think it's that Blink 182 song where they literally just say swear words. That's the whole song. That's just what he's doing.
And Yama looks so offended and is like, oh my god, Polly, wait, we have to discuss this. Do you know what any of those mean? Wait, I don't want you to know what any of those mean. Cover! But that was a 13 to hit for 13 damage.
Yep, 13 damage, absolutely. For your first attack, as you slice into this, you finally pay attention to this dragon. It's been messing you about.
Oh no, it's only a 2. Ignore that damage that already rolled.
9 is not going to hit, unfortunately.
So and Yama just like shooting Karu a filthy look is just gonna be like, Polly, I've left this one for you. Come fetch him. Your training is not done yet.
All right. The razor fiend that you're dealing with, Karu, is kind of biting at you and snapping at you. Let's see if... Okay. It seems to be... this thing maybe is a bit young, a bit fresh out the egg, as it were, much like your bird friend. It seems to be trying to get its... cough up and get its acid breath going, but like almost a puppy trying to growl or bark. It's just not getting there. It doesn't seem to have full control over its body yet. But it's going to bite you instead. It's a 6 to hit. I assume will not hit.
No.
But a 19 on its wing blades for 9 slashing damage.
Yep.
As it just kind of hovers around you, wings flapping. You're getting caught up in sort of the razorness of its wings as you guys are fighting above the deck here. Falling.
Right, I guess I'm going to help out Yama. I feel like that's the smart thing to do. This time, I'm gonna like pull Shrimpy out of my belt. It's like, but mind you, it's like the covering the whole front of me too, Shrimpy.
Like a
And
bandolier.
then so I'm gonna drop Talon and then just try hold Shrimpy and try shoot Shrimpy. Obviously at disadvantage.
Love it.
Oh, 14 to hit.
14 will hit. Yeah, you don't unlock sneak attack until level 2, do you?
No.
Hilarious.
11 damage.
But yeah, you do get an extra kick. Obviously, Shrimpy doing a bit of thunder damage.
I feel like I kind of like shoot back into Captain as well. You
Yeah,
know,
into his
therefore, like
shins.
backwards kicking his shin again.
Yeah, the only reason you
Oh,
don't go
actually-
flying across the
oh, wait,
deck
no,
is
how
because
tall- how
Captain
tall-
Isolation is there.
Yeah, how tall is Captain Isolation?
He is tall. 5'5".
How tall?
6'5".
Oh, okay. I was hoping for a
Oh,
nut
shit.
shot, but it is just a
Nah.
shin shot.
Tall, lanky elf.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, shin shot for now. That's fine. Soon, couple levels, it'll be a nut shot.
Keep trying. Aim high.
Power.
I'm gonna swing at this. last thing.
I'm having way too much fun playing as a toddler.
14 slashing damage.
How do you want to do this?
I think I like to think that it was like kind of like gripped onto like my arm, and so just like the ruined blade has just like sliced off the wings of the other one that was trying to get away, and then Karu just like curves it up and round, and then just like stabs it down into this one's head.
Yeah, it's going for that mid-bite open. You could see it's like trying to hock up the acid phlegm, and just the ruined blade goes directly through its head, and part of it falls onto the deck of the ship that you're precariously balancing on. I imagine, one, not precariously, because you got a tentacle out there supporting you. You're very well balanced. You do your yoga. And you're ready to continue.
And then I'm gonna sprint across. I'm not gonna measure it because I can make it. The one advantage of this character is it's fine. And with my second attack, I am going to swing at the one that is in front of Yama. And same 22 for 16 slashing damage.
Absolutely. Describe that one to me.
So Karu leaps off the railing of the ship, sprints towards, and I think from your perspective, Yama, you just see like the tip of the ruined blade just suddenly like poke through this one's stomach as Karu just like skewers it from behind.
Hell yeah.
And as the thing falls and you see Karu, you realize he kind of got fucked up in that fight. He's like quite covered in like blood and scratches.
He hurt.
Also me.
Yeah.
I'm bloodied.
Yeah, we're like looking at each other and like I'm just like looking at Yama going, yeah. Oh, well, there's that one. And like points at Paulie, who's just like on the ground, like trying to nutshot the captain. and Kara's like, well, at least those two are okay.
Yeah.
As Captain's
they,
like got a giant gaping hole in his arm, he's punctured.
and bruised chins.
And you're a little bit
At least the
sizzly
child isn't dead.
from the acid damage as well, the acid breath, right? So everyone except Paulie is kind of got a couple of holes in their cloaks, in their non-magical gear. The smell of sizzling flesh cuts through the salt air. Some of you kind of went through it a little bit in this evening.
At least the child is fine.
Ugh.
But now.
Good job killing all those weird looking birds, Paulie. Good job.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Captain Isolation did nothing. I did everything.
I See, now I'm all for grandstanding and being proud of yourself, Paulie, but I don't think I like lying.
I
I
mean,
don't think you should be
who
lying.
stabbed the one next to him? Who shot the one next to Yama? I mean, Killian did more, really.
Killian didn't do anything.
Exactly.
Dylan's like, well, actually, I was preparing my teleport spell in case it got hairy. I just needed another 23 minutes, and we've had it ready to go. So,
Yep.
23 minutes.
with a final shuddering hiss, the Razor Fiend's body collapses across the multiple Razor Fiends. Some of their bodies collapse onto the deck of the ship. One of them crashes onto the reef where you left it, Karu. It's acidic blood hissing as it drips into the tide pools and across the deck of the ship. Small holes, kind of burn marks, little pock marks on the deck of the ship itself. The reef itself as well gets scarred, bits of shattered coral drifting in the water like underwater ash. And obviously, nearby, the corpse of the giant seahorse still kind of occasionally being bobbed gently between the reef and the surface of the water. Yeah.
Can I ask the group that maybe we do retcon and long rest somewhere along this journey? Happy to burn some hit dice still.
I mean, it's too late to have done a long rest now that you're like at the end of the battle. Like you're gonna have to long rest when you get to Seastar now.
Okay, no, that's fine. I misread my lay on hands pool and thought it was full, but it's completely empty.
Yeah.
Yes. And I use like 10 hit dice to reroll to get to this health that I do have.
Yeah, you can definitely take another short rest, before setting out if you want to spend a bit of time here, maybe investigating the reef or investigating the seahorse or anything like that. The sea elves who you're kind of following have kind of stopped in a bit unclear. I think they probably saw what was going on, but they don't come over to really help. They figured, they're probably just getting away or whatever. A member of the church is here. They think it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm worried that they think I'm more than I am. I'm getting worried. They seem to think I'm important.
Anything about this church? Like, what's the deal?
I should know something about this church. It's part of my memory bank that I cannot open.
That's gone. Yeah.
That little vault that I don't have the key for has a lot to do with what they think I am.
Yeah. Well, cool, helpful, very helpful. Yama's gonna go over to Paulie and just kind of pick up his wings, inspect him, check him out,
Paulie
turn him
will
around.
absolutely squirm, and then try and run out of his clothes.
So, were we investigating the reef at all?
Do we want to? We could do that quickly. The two
Does that
swimmers.
mean getting off the ship and stuff? Because I don't know how quickly that is.
You can take care of Paulie. Maybe Captain and I will do a quick investigate. Yeah.
Paulie
Sounds
jumps
good.
in the water too.
Paulie, no. Stay on the ship.
Yama's still trying to wrangle the child, and he's grumbling to himself damn, I haven't done this in so long, I've forgotten everything.
If we're gonna investigate the reef, Captain's just gonna grumble to himself and, God damn ungrateful bastards, as he, just points sort of in front of him and casts Mass Cure Wounds just to make sure everyone's a little bit healthier.
That's so nice.
Just a wave of calming, soothing air, just helping mend those holes in the body a little bit.
That's cool.
That's great.
As Karo and Captain are maybe jumping in to go and investigate, Karo's you're a lot nicer than you make yourself out to be.
I'm gonna kill all that pheasant.
I believe you.
Tries to kick a shin again, he's just kicking the air.
Yama's got him by one side and there's just legs flailing. Oh, that's cute as hell. What side was the reef on? The left or the right?
The right, I suppose. Yeah, on the east side. On the port side.
Yeah,
Sounds right.
we should learn that probably.
Port
No.
would be the west, because port
Ah.
is left. 4 letters in port, 4 letters.
I knew there was a port. Yeah, port and
Yes.
left. Or I thought it was port and
Yeah.
east had left had the same letters, but you're right. Port and left. So starboard is right. So it would be starboard side. Anyway, Karu, you jump off to investigate. You said,
Yes, I'm gonna roll an investigation.
please do.
Investigation.
Whew, 23.
Nice.
So yeah, you obviously saw that sort of coral and jade thing on the fin of the giant seahorse. You're able to see in one of the bodies that of the dragons that you dispatched seems to be kind of coming apart a little bit as it's kind of been what is left of it. You cut off its wings, it's split open a little bit, and it's kind of moving in the surf here between the ship and the coral, and you notice something inside, and you're able to kind of pluck it out of the viscera as it's like kind of becoming. It looks like it was in the belly of this beast, and there is an obsidian ring with a single white pearl.
Ooh.
Fuck yeah.
Was it like on a hand still?
It's on something. I wouldn't call it a finger anymore.
Okay. Might have known where the owner went.
And with that excellent 23 investigation, I think as well, you do see that they're sort of what you missed in the beginning, nestled in amongst the coral. It's obviously come loose and traveled a little bit of distance from the giant seahorse. With that investigation, you can recreate Batman style, Sherlock Holmes style, if you will, that this creature was like probably lifted out of the water and dumped here on the coral, right? It was not just here. These creatures perhaps picked it up and dumped it here. But there is a rusted iron coffer that you're able to spot that was perhaps at one point attached to this creature, like you would on a horse, but it has traveled some distance, and it's the iron, the sort of rusted iron is kind of busted open when it hit the coral, and you can see a number of coins that have Seastar kind of iconography and like pictures of like on one side it's got the like a trident, and on the other side it's got that the underwater kind of coral cities that you would have been used to or have heard about, perhaps, if you haven't been to one in quite a while.
Yeah. Sorry, were you still describing stuff?
It has about 320 gold pieces worth in there.
I will collect that up into the coffer and bring it back up. So that gold, does that imply that like the person that owned this seahorse is like a sea elf from one of the towns that underwater towns that I know about? Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
I grabbed the collar as well from the sea elf, so like the seahorse. Sorry, so I got the ring, the collar, and the coffer, and I like bring it back up.
Yeah, you think like if you would just sell like this is a jade and coral name tag effectively for a seahorse. I mean the band alone is probably worth about 50 gold, though it probably is worth a lot more to someone on an emotional level.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the ring on. So
Sure.
now I'm wearing the ring, and I kind of want to put the collar on too.
Yeah, you can work out the collar. It probably like works out around your wrist, almost like a bangle, because it was kind of like around the fin of the seahorse. When you put on the ring,
Oh, nice.
You feel a kind of thrum of magic. This appears to be some kind of magic item, though you can feel it. You may need to kind of attune to it to really get value out of it.
I put my hand out to Killian, like with the wedding ring style. I'm like, Killian, what does this ring do? And he and I guess maybe take some time to do Arcana checks, to sort of work out maybe what kind of magic this ring has.
Yep. With Killian's help, and I mean, when you try and inspect it, I think you get a lot of that highlight of the emotions tied to the creature that died wearing this. I think you get a lot of that, like you get to learn about an item's morbid history or whatever. Like,
yeah,
everything you get out of this thing is, there's some like courage and fear and hunting, and then it's just being hunted, being attacked, being eviscerated, being eaten alive, watching your seahorse get eaten kind of vibe. But this pearl on the ring is a pearl of power. In meta terms, it requires attunement. While this pearl is on your person, you can use an action to speak its command word and regain 1 expended spell slot. So after you cast a spell, effectively, if the expended spell slot was 4th level or higher, the new slot is 3rd level. Once you use the pearl, it can't be used again until the next dawn.
Does anybody who uses spells want this? I put my hand up.
I would love it. I'm sure Aaron would love it. Killian would kill for it.
I'm not asking Killian, and I like Karu puts his hand over Killian's face as Killian's like, no, I wanted it. She's like, nope. I'm not giving
No, I could attach it to I could attach it to my sword, and then I'd be the greatest swordsman magician in the world.
You two can work out how you get this off me.
No, I think I'll pass on it. Captain Iceleeson, if you want it,
Always
speak
take
now,
the
forever
pretty.
hold your peace.
Always gonna take the pretty shiny gems.
Okay, Karu takes it
Don't
off
even
his
let
hand.
me say that.
Yeah, no. Karu takes it off his finger, and then he kneels down, engagement wedding ring style, to give you the ring. And even as you're like, I'm assuming you're like resisting the play, Karu's like, give me your hand. Give me your hand. I'm not going to give you.
In a state of PTSD.
Give me your hand.
Captain spiraling before us.
Put the ring on your wedding finger. There you go.
Last time I proposed to someone, everyone woke up dead.
Oh shit.
Okay, well, we can unpack that if you want. Sorry.
Yeah, do you want to talk about it?
Just walks off in a huff.
Replace that memory with this memory. We all love you.
Yama, with his wand of flowers, is going to give Captain Iceleeson some flowers.
Paulie's gonna go, that's what Uncle Killian was talking about. That's what an edgelord is.
Hey, Paulie, come here. Kara's like, Paulie, come here.
Huh?
And I open up the chest of coffers with all the coins in it. I'm like, there you go.
Oh my god, can I Scrooge McDuck into the chest?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
You're right,
Absolutely.
now.
Absolutely, I am doing that.
No, we can practice your flying aim. And like Kara's like got the chest up in like his tentacles. And it's like, come Paulie, come on, get in the chest, get in the chest.
Yes, please.
Excellent. Well, the beyond the reef, the ocean yawns open once again, and the scent of salt and storm rides in the air. The Sea Elves of Seastar are near now, and so are the shadows of the Red Hand. You travel on, you continue on for a little bit more. Let us go to the... Let's go to the map.
Nappy map. I did really like that seahorse artwork. It was dope.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, it's very cool. Throw it up again, just for fun.
Hey.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Lurker.
Did we see any like Ica, by the way, or was that like literally their like acid attacks?
No, there was that asset. It kind of matched up. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Don't need any more BBGs out here.
Another bit of travel overnight, and it starts becoming early morning.
I did short rest while we were on the ship, while Kara wasn't on the ship. Thank you. I only have 2 hit dice. I'm using them.
The ship slows, the water grows unnaturally calm and unnervingly clear. Peering over the rail, you glimpse movement beneath the waves, tall, graceful shapes gliding through the currents, sunlight rippling across gleaming armor and iridescent fins. Far below, a vision unfolds, a city of coral and pearl, cradled in the roots of a colossal drowned forest. Towering kelp spires twist like cathedral pillars. Bioluminescent algae paints glowing murals across crumbled stone. Silver-finned seahorses and glittering eels dart among the ruins. This is Seastar, the hidden refuge of the Sea Elves. Older than the Empire of Man, untouched by war for centuries. Until now. Even here, though, in this place of fragile beauty, shadows linger. You can hear the muted toll of warning bells deep underwater, and patrols of armored sea elves moving swiftly, mounted on seahorses, spears in hand, watching you with wary violet eyes. The Red Hand of Doom marches not just over land, but under sea as well. And in this city of legends, alliances must be forged or broken. Because without new friends, without greater power, you know the tide will rise against you. The water shimmers with the invitation of destiny or destruction. Welcome to Seastar.
Sounds amazing.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
The smugglers with you, the very reputable merchants and fishermen, their ship that they have, like their kind of canoe system that they have, very water-worldy, they are opening up kind of ballast and taking on water, and it begins to sink, and then sinks down into the water and seems to kind of flow down to the city below. And like they wave at you and like give you a big thumbs up, and they're like, it's like down there, like as if you can't see below the waves, or like they think you're an idiot. Like they're like, yeah, it's here.
So not all of us can breathe underwater.
Now the time to tell you that I also can't swim.
I kind of suspected that.
Liar. I was totally getting away with that secret. But yeah, I think I have an item that lets me breathe underwater for like an hour.
Okay.
I can come in handy here. I can cast water breathing on everyone.
Wow.
Captain with the wind.
I was gonna say, Kari looks at Killian and is like, "You can't. Can you do that?" No.
You're like, no, I can just breathe water because I can just change my body so that I can breathe water.
I just turn into a whale. Yeah.
No, it's actually not a whale. It's a dinosaur from the island of Chult that I totally lived on for a bunch of years, and that's how I learned about every dinosaur.
I turn into a megalodon.
Yeah.
It's a 24-hour breathing.
Wow. Yeah,
That
do
is
that.
awesome. What the hell?
Hell yeah.
Told you I took
was more
RP spells.
imagining- you did. There's going to be so many spell slots for you.
Oh yeah. What about this RP? Can I try kick him in the shin again?
Not giving water breathing to Paulie.
Yeah, wait, him.
So you can see
Oh
that,
wow, that's
yeah, to get down there, you are going to have to obviously pass through the water. But there are small bubble domes, sort of seemingly you can kind of see them partly jutting out from seaweed spots around the perimeter. And Kyle, I think you probably instinctually or some memories begin to perhaps surface of, you know, the kinds of things you would potentially find in a town like this, right? There'd be reef rider stables. You know, there are guest pavilions that for people who don't don't breathe underwater or need to have regular oxygen, things like that. You know, like a guest house kind of thing. Most likely there'd be a temple down here somewhere. The Sea Elves are obviously pretty religious. And there'd likely be, some kind of a mayor kind of equivalent. And I think as you pull up, the guard arrive as well, right? The city of Seastar kind of rising up from the gloom, illuminated in hues of blue, green, and silver. Swimming up to you are a trio of mounted guards, long ornate tridents in hand, approaching silently. And these three are not riding seahorses, they're riding reef sharks.
Hell yeah.
one one.
These ones are cool. I like
Hell
these
yeah, brother.
Brother.
And as you're looking down at them, like approaching, what are your passive perceptions?
Trash.
15?
Yeah,
11.
12.
useless.
Yep.
Got beat by a 2-year-old.
I'm very perspective like Uncle Yama. You should hear the noises that comes out of Kairo's rooms in that night.
I don't think you should be listening to that. That is.
I can make the noises that I heard if you want.
Okay, do it. No one. Karu, you deserve this.
Betrayer. Yep. You traitor.
As everyone on the ship is kind of looking over the edge of the ship in awe and seeing these reef shark riders swimming up to you.
Perception's 19, by the way.
19? 19 is good. So, Captain, you're probably the first to notice a kind of shift in the air. But unfortunately, it does not beat this person's stealth check. There is you kind of look around and you kind of feel it first and look around, Captain, and standing behind you is a tall, muscular sea elf man in kind of full kind of coral plate armor, standing there like watching each of you coolly. And I think you potentially have to do a bit of a double take. Like you turn around and you're like, oh, Karu's behind me. And then you're like, oh, no, wait, Karu's there. Oh, shit. And when you notice him, he says, my name, I am Kiliar Starsinger. And I guess the rest of you kind of hear that. And all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, someone's behind us. Someone got on the ship and got behind us standing there without us noticing. And you look down and like the deck is wet. Like there's you obviously brought water with him. He obviously came up onto the deck via the water. But he was just very quiet about it. And he says, I am Kiliar Starsinger, speaker for the Tiri Kator of Seastar. What brings you here?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Well, Mr.
Yes,
Starsinger, as
I
like
would.
Yama like
I would like
Pushes
to
his
know.
baby.
Oh, well, look at you needing to know things and
Look.
stuff.
Tentacle just goes over Paulie's mouth.
Okay,
No,
we'll
I can take him. I can take him.
Yeah, I know you could. I know you could. Yeah, not yet. Not yet. Gotta look for the opportune moment.
Yeah, you're gonna learn about the stealth. Greetings, Star Singer. We're traveling. We came across some of your, merchants, and they've we're very grateful to them for them escorting us here. We have business regarding the invaders, the Red Hand. Perhaps you've experienced them in your waters already?
Yes, these are times of blood and shadow. But we are not too concerned about this red hand surfy threat. We have
Yeah,
our
that
own
is
problems we're dealing
understandable.
with.
Oh,
Right.
your own
Oh.
problems?
Like what?
Well,
Perhaps it's something to do with the unfortunate seahorse and elf that we came across. Perhaps you recognize this accessory. We're sorry to report the loss of your comrade. Although, pleased to announce that we did destroy possibly the group of fiends responsible.
and he goes over and looks at it and looks at it closely, and you can kind of see him. He kind of looks down at it, and I think because you're wearing it as a bangle, right, Karu? And he kind of cradles your wrist. Like he doesn't remove it, but he puts his forehead. He lifts it up to put his forehead to it. He lowers his forehead to it as well, and starts kind of whispering a sea elf prayer. Hentashan Delalun. That kind of, and it goes on for an unnecessarily awkward amount of time, I think.
I think weirdly Kara is totally fine with it. I think maybe there might be a part of him that remembers this kind of act of ceremony. And if anything, he bows his head in a similar reverence and doesn't necessarily doesn't say the prayer. The prayer is unique to this person, but understands what's going on.
And then eventually he says, this was one of my scouts, Lanakar. I take it that you did not find him out there.
Sorry to report that I recovered what was left of him from the belly of one of the beasts. I believe he was devoured, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Captain hearing that's probably just going to pocket the ring so it's out of sight.
Yeah, do a start of hand check, Captain.
Ooh.
It's fine.
I know.
29.
Very
Oh,
good.
shit.
I was thinking it would have been hilarious if the ring snags on your pocket and tears a hole in your pocket as you do it, but no, with a 29, it's that very
Then you
subtle
bust off.
hand goes into the pocket, just standing very casually. You can even slip the ring off into your pocket if you really want to with a 29, I think. And it doesn't look like anyone has really noticed. But it's at this point, I think, that Chiliara noticing you, Karu, and kind of who you are and what you are and how you reacted to that prayer. He doesn't even move to take the jade band off you. I think he probably just says in Elven, may your deep currents bring him low to a new resting place in the deep trench. And you get the feeling this he's seeing you as a priest here, that kind of please look over my companion's soul kind of vibe that he's giving you.
Yeah, I think for all his silliness, I think Karu sort of clocks this, and after a small pause, I think in a weirdly somber voice for Karu, he says something like, "He will wash over the nearby shores as the tide ebbs and flows with the sun and moon."
As the sand on the beach is the countless ancestors ground to dust, shall he be forever remembered along the coasts of our memories.
Yep, the equivalent of Elvish "Amen" is said.
Yeah.
I was gonna wait for Katie to say another one.
We're just gonna keep going.
It's those what is it? It's the Ghost of Tsushima haikus. Like it's just coming.
Yes.
Yeah. Love that. Well, I just can't help but think of like Trolls at this point, they'll just go into song, and it, again, like for another 20 minutes, it's just Hallelujah,
Yep.
Vishnu, and then it kind of fades.
There's a long enough pause that everyone thinks it's done, and then we keep going.
Yeah.
Yalma and Captain are just looking at each other like.
Paulie's asleep.
Yeah, Paulie's asleep.
But also while sleeping, trying to swing fists at the elf.
I'm twitching. You guys start talking again, and Yama and Captain and Paulie are all like, "Oh."
Just in Elvish, just Karu whispers, "These land dwellers could be so disrespectful."
That is exactly the moment when Paulie shits.
Yeah, perfect.
He was overdue.
He says, "We only just sent word to the church a couple of days ago, and you're here already. I'm not sure how much they told you, but the lizard folk are keeping us from the old holy city. Our excavations can no longer continue." I was sure, and he kind of looked looks around at everyone else, and he's like, "I assume you were dispatched here for this?"
I lead a rather unusual crew. I understand that could bring some hesitancy, but we are highly skilled operatives, and yes, we are here to help with this issue.
We had heard rumors that those blessed by the deep water would come in little sorts of shapes and sizes that may be considered monstrous, as he looks around at the tiny bird and
with poo down his leg.
Yeah, the big red man in a gold suit.
You know that.
And he maybe looks at the sun elf, a little like, this does not match the description it's given.
Super wrong.
Of hideous monstrosity. But yeah, who is he to question the teachings of the faith?
You understand that these can be very trying times, and me and my crew are often dispatched at sort of more unusual jobs, and which requires an unusual and eclectic and varied set of skills, hence the quite colourful lot in front of you, but we were able to answer your call alone. I love that. Yeah. All of you giving him the stink eye as I'm saying it, please. It's like usual suspects fucking line up and one of you farts as I'm saying this.
Like bum, 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 like really short, really tall, really.
Yeah, it's like, but we were able to answer the call the quickest, so that is why we are here. Like, tell us more about yes, we weren't given a lot of information just because we were able to get here fast. So if you give us more information as to what's going on, then we will help you out.
Well, I will take you straight away to our speaker. She will be able to fill you in more than I can. I'm the head of the guard, and I'm head of patrols, but she sees the wider picture. I can see you all look pretty beat up from what I imagine must have been a harrowing journey. After that, we'll take you to the hall of the Temple of Deep Currents, and we'll get our clerics to look at you.
Amazing.
Awesome.
So
Well,
he'll
do it.
just like jump off to lead you off the ship, and offers for you to like just put a hand on the on the fin of one of the reef sharks, Karu, to just like hold on. And obviously there's a couple of reef sharks here, so there's enough space for lots of people.
Karu jumps in after him, and he's like, "Come on, everybody! Come on, crew!"
Who's Paulie attached to, Yama? In like a little like one of those like little.
Yeah.
The baby
I
Bjorn.
know,
Yeah.
Baby Bjorn.
100%. I love that. Yeah, as Yama's like, okay. Polly, we're good with this?
Paulie's still asleep.
Okay.
But he's asleep in it, like he's like throwing fists.
Yeah, I think I'll just put Polly down for like a nap, and I might stay on the ship. And
Paulie wakes up immediately the second you put him down. That's what babies do. It's very frustrating.
Yeah, see, he needs some time. I'll stay on the ship, make sure everything's good up here. Yeah, just let us know when you're good. Need some help, Ko. Yeah.
Karu just like glares at Yama. He's like, you wouldn't want to waste Ice Leeson's water breathing spell now, would you?
Yeah. I hate waiting.
I see. I'm sure you will be just behind me, and Karu will just like leave with this guy, with the tiger shark, and you can do whatever you want. But Karu's going.
Yama is like lowering himself down on like a rope and like dipping a toe in.
Oh my gosh! Can we just go for this one then too? So like Paulie like has woken up because now that you put him down. So
Yeah.
the second I see that you're starting to go down too, I just jump off the ship to where the sharks are, but you're in the way. So you weren't expecting me to do that, so you let go, and then we both fall in the water.
Okay. And Yama sinks like a stone.
I'm imagining Link wearing the iron boots in Ocarina of Time, just slowly sinking down under the water, unable to control any descent whatsoever. It's just straight down, but just slowly and painfully inevitable, like the tide. Captain?
He's like holding his breath because he doesn't know what to do.
Captain Ice Leeson, how do you join the crew? Do you jump in the water?
Yep. And just jump straight in.
Big swan dive.
Yeah. Probably not as stone-like as Yama. Probably swim down.
So the reef sharks, you're able to kind of hold down the one of the patrols will kind of swim over to you and kind of drag you over, Yama, to be able to put a strong hand on one of the reef sharks. Captain, if you're a little bit more graceful underwater, they'll kind of watch you flounder for a little bit and then help you if you require it. Obviously, Karu, they don't help you at all. This is obviously your element. And with a hand, like when people ride with dolphins or whales or whatever, they just put a hand on the fin and these things just glide silently underwater. Their movements graceful but sure and direct like a shark. And despite the darkening currents, your sea elf escorts travel with equal poise, their bioluminescent eyes scanning the weary depths ahead. And from time to time, one of them gestures towards a distant reef or a building shrouded in drifting kelp, murmuring a name in Elvish before falling silent again. So they're kind of pointing out the different areas to you, Karu. Those are the stables, that's the House of the Speaker, that's the Temple of Deep Currents, the Hall of Tides and Memory, and that's it points out like a kelp tower that is his place as kind of the head of the scouts.
I compliment it greatly and said, "Oh, I love what you've done with the place."
Thank you. So before long, you can see you're getting closer to Seastar, a sprawling elven reef city rising from a shallow caldera near the surface. Living coral spires ring a central lagoon like a crown, each strung with glowing shells, drifting lantern jellies, and ribbons of seaweed that shimmer with soft magic. And as you approach, dozens of sea elves emerge from shell-like homes, floating silently to observe. Kiliar produces a sleek silver conch from his belt and blows a single haunting note that echoes like a whale's cry through the water. Near the heart of Seastar lie 3 great coral foundations, each shaped into graceful structures by elven craft. One pulses with soft golden light. Their temple. Another bustles with activity, resembling a marketplace or some kind of council hall. And you can see the smallest, and your destination seemingly rests on a shell-encrusted rise above what appears to be kind of like an underwater spring. It's almost like an underwater fountain. The water that's coming out of it is like a different water than what's that you're surrounded with, right? A delicate spiral shell house glowing with a calm green light. He takes you inside. The currents are still. Bioluminescent corals cast warm light across the smooth inner walls of the chamber. And standing before you, or I guess, partially floating, is an ancient sea elf, her robes woven from strands of kelp and silkweed in shimmering golds and blues. Her long hair, white, bladed through an intricate headdress of coral, driftwood, and pearls. And beside her, seated in a tall chair grown from living coral, is a younger elf in plain robes of sea foam and sand. Her eyes are red-rimmed, as if she has been weeping. The elder nods towards the seats prepared for you, and behind you, Kiliar drifts into position beside the archway, silent and watchful. I am Celiria, speaker for the people of Seastar, the elder says, her voice echoing softly through the chamber. She gestures to the young elf beside her. This is High Singer Trelara. Strangers are rare in these waters. Tell me, priest, what brings you to the Rhest Sea?
It doesn't say that. I think Karu maybe has a little smirk when he gets called a priest, and he's like, we understand that there is some distress in these parts, and me and my crew have come to provide aid if we can."
As you may have heard through the underwater currents that we only just sent days ago to the church, the sea is growing dangerous. We have long struggled to hold these beautiful lands for our own. The local lizard folk have vexed us for many decades, but now a new peril stalks the Black Fens. The ruins of Rhest, the sea beneath the sea, the city beneath the sea, an old capital of the old empire, once a center of civilization in this region, is no longer accessible to us. something has moved in to the Dark Lake.
Sick. I mean, that sounds troubling. I know that you, us who dwell beneath the sea, often do not worry ourselves with what happens above, but at the same time that this darkness is sort of encroaching upon your own, we have a similar issue happening above water, potentially. As I assume you have heard of the Red Hand making their way through to take over the lands about your sort of sea.
We have heard the discussions of those who have come from Drellin's Ferry, and our scouts do say that they have seen goblin folk around the old, have seen a goblin around the old city of Rest, but we have not. This hobgoblin fleet has not concerned us.
Yet.
And she kind of bow, like she kind of concedes the point, like, kind of bows to you to kind of like concede the comment.
My reason for bringing it up is that is what we have been concerned with. We are, obviously I'm from the church, and this is my group. We are not ignoring the issues above us purely because they are not in the waters. We believe that the Red Hand is an issue that will become everyone's problem, regardless of if you are below or above the sea. So we have come upon your request for help to help with this lizard folk issue and this sort of darkness and this inability to access your sort of ancient city, with the belief that it is potentially tied to the advancement of the Red Hand, and that in being able to aid you with what is causing issues for you, that you may be able to support us in essentially driving back this Red Hand problem.
Far be it from me to bring into question the church's ability to gather knowledge, but the foe we face that we have seen in the skies and in the sea is perhaps just biding its time. We believe it is a dragon, not a goblin.
Dragons are working with goblins.
A kind of look passes, like the three sea elves in here kind of all look at each other, like something kind of passes through around them. And she says the lizard folk aren't they're not many, but they are strong. The dragon seems to have brought them under its power, or coerced them into doing its bidding, and has set up some kind of lair within the old city of Rest.
We can't have that.
No, our charge is to preserve and learn from our old teachings in that city, but our scholars have been killed or driven out. We cannot abandon our task here, the task of generations of those in the Star Soul.
Well, we are here to assist you to avoid that from happening. So I guess Kara turns around to the others and says, "I guess we're killing a dragon. That sounds fun."
Mm-hmm. Chop the feet out from underneath our enemies.
Mm-hmm. We'll be happy to assist you.
Absolutely, you have our swords.
And my axe.
I still don't trust him.
Polly, inside voice.
As in internal voice.
Do you have any intel for us that would help with us essentially taking this task on? Because obviously it's a very dangerous task. So anything that you can tell us that can aid us in taking down this dragon would be very helpful.
Wise?
Well, of course, you are our guests. If you need healing, you should seek out Ilian Ice Mantle at the temple. If you wish for other supplies or have trade, simply ask. But of course, we will offer what we can, but we must keep our defenses focused on our homes. The creature in the ruins has not attacked anything within our encampments or our town, though we fear arousing its wrath, and we may be ill-equipped to cope with it if we give up too much.
Fair.
Yeah. I think we might just need a potentially, not just, but I think a night's rest will do us all a world of good. Maybe some supplies in regards to if you have any healing potions potentially, or any sort of potions that can help.
Go shopping.
We do,
Right.
quick stop by. We won't clear your town out or anything, just a couple of things.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely a rest, I think, is something we all need to do first before we try to take this on.
Absolutely.
Big sleep.
We'll definitely need quarters that these ones, and Karu nods his head to the other three, where they can breathe air. They are
Of
land
course.
dwellers first. Yeah.
And they lead you to the temple for some sort of basic healing and food and things like that before you are led to, or your companions, Karo, I guess, are led to the guest pavilions. These are kind of kelp woven chambers with sort of like this bubble magic within that keeps the inside dry. Yama, Captain, and Paulie, when you walk through the bubble, like the water stays behind you and kind of peels off you, and you're breathing air again. And you can see in here is a bunch of stuff and furniture that is clearly just like been taken from shipwrecks. Like it has water damage, but it is dry, but it does look kind of aged and as if has been found on the seafloor, right? Yeah. So there's like captain's chairs and or chairs that you'd find on a ship, and like some hammocks and things like that. And they've been hung up and put together like someone would if they didn't really understand or imagining. It's not quite Little Mermaid Ariel thinking a fork is a hair combing tool, but it's like these guys don't really understand what some of this stuff is because they don't need regular beds, right? They don't need regular furniture. So some of it's just in like really bizarre positions. Excellent. Well, it's 10 to 9, so I think we'll probably kind of wrap up soonish before pushing on into the next chapter. What I'll do is perhaps as homework, we'll do kind of the shopping and any kind of stuff you want to do. We will assume, though, that you guys are doing a full long rest in the safety of this town. And then you'll be led to the Ruins of Rhest, R-H-E-S-T, which is the sort of ancient city of the Sea Elves, with who knows what kind of secrets are among them. But you are told it is underwater, though there are parts of it where the bubble magic may still be in place. That is held together by sort of magic runes, but a lot of it is underwater and flooded. And you're given instructions or directions, I should say, there is an old, almost like a bell tower that sits above the water, and there is within it a staircase that leads down into the ruins below. So you can either approach underwater or via the water, though it is very deep, or head to this tower and kind of make your way down on foot.
Mm-hmm.
Though it is in the heart of what they call the Dark Lake, which is sort of a patch of sea which is quite dark, and that is where all the lizard folk activity has been, along with the black dragon.
Definitely gonna need healing potions. Definitely gonna need stuff to soup up our powers if we can.
Mm-hmm. Hells yeah! Exciting! Shopping at
If you want to give me a list of like the things you want, such as like potions and stuff, and I'll tell you what you get for free, and then like what may cost you a little bit extra, and kind of what's outside the realm.
Are you on the list?
Oh, you.
That's nice.
They do say that they can't spare any reef sharks for you, unfortunately, because they are needed to focus on their defense. Those seem to imply if their defenses are taken care of, they may be able to free up some reef sharks.
I think Yelma might actually like spend some time doing his like fine steed, but maybe it's a shark.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Is it the same? Is it still it's not Tempe, it's the what's your Bento? Umami, that's right. Bento's your real dog. Is this still Umami but in like aquatic form, or is this like a new creature?
You know what? I really like that idea, but I think this is a new creature. Yeah, I think I get to think of another name. I'll think on it for this week.
Yeah, cool.
No, you won't. You will not think about it, and then you'll be asked what's the name next week, and you'll be like,
Shut up, Katie. You're not supposed to reveal all my secrets to the Twitch. They were going to be nicely surprised.
This reef shark's going to be called Hojicha or something like that.
I'm going to write this note here to remind myself to think of a name.
Yeah.
And then forget.
Hojicha.
Yeah. I thought of that by myself and not because you said
Yeah, 100%. I'll bring it up next week as if it was completely my idea.
Did you say Ryokucha?
Hojicha.
Hojicha. I just looked up what green tea was in Japanese, and I was like, Ryokucha. That is the cool name.
Well, Hojicha is like a longer roasted green tea, so same.
Yeah. It's on the brain because I had a hojicha with banana milk drink on the weekend, and it was incredible.
Surprisingly delicious.
Yeah, it tasted like a choc banana lolly.
Yeah, we're gonna ask Kate next week what her new mount's name is, and she's gonna look around the room and go, Pokey Sticks?
Matcha?
Excuse me, but this is a Peppero household, which is way better than Pocky.
On that note, we're gonna call it a night. Thank you very much, team.
Good night, guys.
I don't want to get cancelled by the Pocky Mafia.
They are pretty serious too.
Bye, night.
Good night.